What is good? What is good? What is really, really good? Ladies and gentlemen, this is your boy James, aka Hollywood J Black, live in the building once again. Happy Friday. Hope everybody is doing wonderful. Hope everybody has had a great week. We're headed into the weekend, a nice, relaxing one. Not really too much hype going on this weekend, but NBA season. The restart drawing to a little bit of a close. We're headed to the playoffs uh, and also a play-in game. And we're going to break all of that down. So grab yourself some popcorn, grab yourself a nice little cold one or something like that, because we about to ready to get this thing cracking. So without further ado, everybody knows who I am. If you've been watching this show, I'm Hollywood J Black, co-host, co-owner of this wonderful Simple Black entertainment conglomerate, as we like to do. Let me grab my drink real quick. Hold on. Almost got Ew, it's empty. Right. We'll just grab this one. No big deal. Roll, no big deal. So, again, happy Friday. Got a lot to discuss, a lot to break down, a lot to go over. I promise I won't take too much of your time. But yes, we're going to have some fun tonight. So, first things first, the NBA restart was a complete and utter success. We gotta talk about this because, I mean, a lot of us had our doubts. A lot of us wondered if they could pull this off before this thing happened. A lot of us wondered if the bubble was going to be feasible. A lot of us talked about it. We was like, I don't know about this damn bubble. You know what I'm saying? They just bubbling people up, and you know what I'm saying? And, shit's just getting weird out here. I don't know what's going to go on. And so at the same time, we was like, it just might work. If everybody can follow the rules and everybody can just rally around each other, LeBron can get everybody on point, you know what I'm saying? We was going to be okay. We ain't had nothing to worry about. Everything was going to be fine. And that's exactly what happened. Everybody kind of rallied around each other for the sake of basketball. And we had ourselves some amazing games, some thrillers. We've seen records broken. We've seen James Harden at his finest, Dame Lillard at his finest. Dame Lillard, that's the story of the century, and I can't wait to see what happens in the play-in game. And we're going to go over that in a little bit. But the stars came out to shine. And there were stars that were playing hurt. Some people didn't start until later. It was just a mixed bag of emotions and activity that was beyond anything that I could have even thought of. I was like, every time I turned on the game, it was either the ass whooping that these people deserved, or the game was one of these close nail biters that reminded you of playoff basketball. Because essentially, in the bubble, every game counted, especially if you were one of the lower seeds. And let me rephrase that. So every game did count for the most part, because seeding was really mattered, because some matchups you didn't want to happen. Some teams didn't want to face certain teams because they weren't built to take on those certain teams and could get upset. Philly at some point they were the number 1 seed at some point, and now they're the number 6 seed in the Eastern Conference. We have Memphis and Portland vying for the number 1 seed. I'm sorry, the number 9 seed. And that matchup is going to be stellar because it's when you're in, doubt you're out. And that's it. A lot of other in-between stuff. We had James Harden and Russell Westbrook trying to get his squad, deeper into the postseason. I can't wait. We got Houston and OKC in the first round. I'm hoping Russ is back for that one. We need that one. James Harden, though, looks like he can do it by himself this year with the way that this team is built. Small ball, yeah, the centers are going to dominate, and that's fine. We understand that. That's any given day when it comes to the Rockets because of the way that they play. However, when the Rockets are at their best, and James Harden at his best. I mean, essentially, they had 4 months off. 4 months off to do what, to get right. Probably 4.5 if you really push it. And so now we've come to the point where this is gonna, man, fresh James Harden in these playoffs is one of the most dangerous dudes. And if they can get Russell Westbrook right, man, listen, are they ready? The Rockets are probably the sleeper team in the NBA playoffs right now. They are the team that everybody is scared of. The team that I would want to face. I mean, OKC was the other team that nobody wanted to face in these playoffs. And guess what? Those two teams are now playing each other. That one's going to be fun because there are two positives that are going to negate each other out, and then I don't know what the hell is going to happen. Who would have thought that OKC, after getting rid of their best player, would end up being the number 3 seed? That's something to think about, man. Listen, that is Chris Paul has that team running on something else, bro. Dallas is a team that nobody wants to play. Luka is on fire. And a fully focused Dallas Mavericks team going into the playoffs, they're going to be headhunters. The team, and whoever between Memphis and Portland specifically, full health. Portland at full health is going to go, if they go against the Lakers, that's going to go to 7. Dame Dollar, especially now they got the cover of 2K, Dame Dollar ain't gonna sleep on this one. That shit's going to go to 7. Lakers aren't deep enough to deal with the Portland, and Nurkic is back. Portland with Nurkic back is the most dangerous. Is a dangerous team. Y'all don't understand how good Jusuf Nurkic is. Nurkic is deceptively fast. If anybody watched that game yesterday, anybody watched that game between Portland and Brooklyn, watch that game. Watch what Jusuf Nurkic is. He's not really an excellent defender, but he's decent. On the offensive board, he has those post moves like Porzingis, right? But he's not as soft as Porzingis. Nurkic will take it to the cup. And if you somehow find a way to get past Nurkic and make him look good, Whiteside is coming off the bench. So that is a problem. That is a complete problem. How do you deal with that? How do you come into an NBA game and just be like, I'm gonna try and deal with Nurkic and Whiteside, because you know whose job that's gonna be. That's gonna be Anthony Davis's job. And Anthony Davis has had problems against Nurkic. He didn't play him this year, but he played him last year when he was in New Orleans. Nurkic gave that dude problems. This is going to be something else. This ain't going to be no joke. And even if somehow Portland doesn't get in, Memphis will push the Lakers. Like I said, I think Memphis can steal 1 or 2 games, but they're going to push LA. That youth movement that's going down in Memphis, this is going to be a learning tool for them if they get in. This is going to be a lesson. Like I said, they ain't going to win the series. I don't think they can upset the Lakers now. Not the way that they're built. They came in basically with this was their playoffs to lose. And now that they lost so many games in a row. And then to come win a couple games at the tail end, but Portland is streaky. I don't know if Memphis can do it. I don't know if they can pull it off. If they can, then they can. But if you're asking me right now, Portland's that good right now. Dame Dollar is that good right now. The starting lineup, dude, you understand. You got Nurkic as a center. You got Melo playing power forward. You got C.J. McCollum playing small forward, Gary Trent at the shooting guard, and your boy Dame Dollar at the point. Even if they don't want to run that lineup, they drop Melo to the small forward. They bring in another power forward. They bring in the other tall white dude. They bring him in at the power forward, and it's just a bunch of problems in that Portland starting five that you got to deal with. And then on top of that, you got to deal with that bench with Whiteside. Even if Gary Trent comes off the bench, it's nasty. It's just nasty. It's all bad. And Dame Dollar's coming for next. Paul George should have never opened his mouth. Paul George fucked this shit up. I bet if Paul George and Pat Beverly would have never opened their mouth, we wouldn't be seeing this Dame Dollar. Wouldn't be seeing him. Y'all done fucked up. Y'all really done screwed this one up. This is on y'all. So if somehow Portland gets in, then somehow Portland deals with LA. He's going to have an opportunity to just go through all the LA teams, all the West Coast teams, all the way through. And what you going to do then? Not a goddamn thing. But while we're talking about winners and losers, I tell you who I'm impressed with. The Kings of the bubble, not the Sacramento Kings. I should say the gods of the bubble. And I'm talking about the Phoenix effing Suns. The Phoenix Suns went undefeated in the bubble. And not just like, what's his name? Devin Booker played out of his mind. Devin Booker, by far and large, if we're going to say bubble MVPs, then while we have Dame Dollar, I would say is the MVP, 1A is obviously Devin Booker. That dude has been playing lights out. And like I said, my MVPs, I would say right now, Devin Booker. Dame Dollar, Devin Booker, and the beard, James Harden. Right, off top. Everybody else, and then TJ Warren, which we'll get to in a sec when I talk about the Eastern Conference. But those three men have been consistent throughout this entire time. I think Dame Dollar had one bad game, and that was the game against the Clippers, which sparked this whole thing off. But this right here, that everything that's been going on, all of this that's going on, like in the Western Conference, everybody was talking about the Phoenix Suns, undefeated Phoenix Suns. They, to me, like, I was just shooketh at how they just came in, dominated. Devin Booker just dominated. DeAndre Ayton, something nasty. And they were without Aaron Baines. And I think that if they had Aaron Baines, they would have even been nastier. Aaron Baines is something else. He didn't even play. But Booker and Bridges. Man. No, y'all want to talk about it, but you love to see it. You love to see it and you love to do it. Listen. All BS aside, right? All BS aside. Right now, it should be Phoenix and Portland playing for that number one spot. To me, Memphis backed themselves into this corner. They lost the majority of their games. This was on them. They fucked this up. Okay? They fucked it up. I'm not gonna sit here and bullshit you, but they really fucked it up to the point where they probably shouldn't even have been in this game. And I'm probably going to catch a lot of flack for that. And I'm fine. I'll catch all the flack. Bring it on. But the Phoenix Suns and Portland should be playing for this last spot. Because to me, they're the only two teams that earned it. Point blank, period. They earned it. Even Dame Dollar said that the Phoenix should be in it. Memphis about to get their neck snapped off by Portland. They are. I don't doubt this at all. But the other side of this whole dealio is we're going into this Eastern Conference, where majority of the stuff in the Eastern Conference was already decided. Majority of the stuff was already decided in the Eastern Conference. And listen, a lot went on. Orlando finally got in. Brooklyn secured their spot. And I called it, though. I said 7 and 8 is going to be Orlando and Brooklyn, because I didn't really see anybody else in the Eastern Conference that was really going to do anything. Because look, when we got into this shit, hold on. Let me pull up the records. Give me a second here. Bear with me. I'm going to pull up the standings, because when I remember this shit, see, the Wizards were in it, and the Hornets didn't want to participate. The Hornets felt that they were too far behind, which I'm like, that's bullshit. They could have really just came in. But if the Hornets could have made some noise, I think that would have been fun. But they didn't. Jordan didn't want to do it. He didn't want to risk it. It just was this. So it was the Wizards trying to get that last playoff spot. The Wizards got smoked. They weren't built for it. No Brad Beal. Without Brad Beal, the Wizards weren't doing shit. I don't even know why they came. I mean, I guess because they had to bring a bubble team or whatever the case may be. But without Brad Beal, the Wizards are a trash-ass team. They were like the punching bags of the NBA. The Magic, Nets. So it goes Bucks, Raptors, Celtics, Pacers, Heat, Sixers, Nets, Magic. First round, Bucks, Magic. Sweet. Done. That's it. Second round, Raptors, Nets. The Nets are healthy. The Nets are real healthy. The Nets just might take them to 6. Maybe even 7. If you're nasty, that might be something to look out for. Karis LeVert is on a rampage. Celtics Sixers is going to be a bloodbath, and that's going to go to 7 games. No doubt about that. That's a 7-gamer. But no, wait a minute. I don't know. No Ben Simmons. That's a problem. That's going to be a huge problem. And then off the heels of that, you got Pacers Heat, which is going to be a freaking bloodbath. Jimmy Butler and TJ Warren. And I want to talk about TJ Warren for a second. TJ Warren was a free agent before this whole bubble shit stuff popped off. TJ Warren was a free agent. TJ Warren was supposed to be just a bench filler, but then Oladipo got hurt. Oladipo, they had to see Oladipo because they didn't want him to stress him, because the Pacers already knew they were in the playoffs. So it wasn't no big deal. TJ Warren comes in and says, I got it. And he would just start draining and draining and draining and draining and draining. And it just did whatever the frick TJ Warren does. And everything was fine. And see, I like where this is going to go, because everything was fine. TJ Warren was being TJ Warren and dropping, 30-point games, 40-point games. And then they ran into the buzzsaw that is the Miami Heat, which to me is the most underrated team in basketball right now. I'm telling you, Eric Spoelstra's defense is no fucking joke. No fucking joke. They are the most underrated team in basketball right now. That is not an opinion. That is a fact. Everybody's sleeping on the Heat. The Heat are a lot better than what y'all think they are. The Miami Heat, again, are the most dangerous team in basketball by a long mile. Turn on my phone. There we go. By a long mile. Like, it's not even close. Not even freaking close, man. Hold on. There we go. I gotta share it. Hold I'm trying to get a little share action going on, but I think I got to go to the page. I'm gonna see it. Make sure some of y'all see it. Make sure y'all join up. There we go. Hold on. I know some of y'all got some comments. Hold on. Give me a second. Give me a second, y'all. Give me a second. Share. Yeah, there we go. Sorry. So, the Miami Heat are without a shadow of a doubt, the most dangerous team in basketball. Their defense is solid. Their depth is insane. Kendrick Nunn is back. He passed his COVID protocol testing. He's straight. Goran Dragic is going to be coming off the bench. Jimmy Butler's there. Bam Adebayo. And then Andre Iguodala, king of playoff basketball. Kelly Olynyk at the center. This team is nasty. The Heat are nasty. The freaking Miami Heat are nasty. And for those that are doubting, I don't know why you're sitting there doubting. The Miami Heat, and they got young cats. They got Tyler Herro. They got Myers Leonard. They got Jay Crowder. Jay Crowder has been amazing. What they've done is they've rotated the lineups with Jay Crowder and Jimmy Butler alternating between the guard and the center, and those dudes have been absolutely phenomenal together. Jay Crowder, one of the most underrated cats in sports right now. I love Jay Crowder. Jay Crowder was doing his thing, and I was like, yo, this dude is a baller. Like, he does all the good things right. And then we got Jimmy Buckets. And you see him and TJ Warren beefing. I love it. You got to love it, man. That is some amazing stuff. So then we got to turn around. Then we get into the Western Conference. Let's go back. Way back in the time. So then the rounds are going to go like this. Okay? We got Lakers versus the winner of Blazers and Grizzlies. That's on deck. Clippers, Mavs. Jazz, Nuggets, and Rockets, Thunder. How this all goes is really going to be dependent on if the Blazers or the Grizzlies get in. I'm looking at this. Clippers, Mavs is going to be something else. That's going to be a 7-gamer very easily. Nuggets, Jazz. The Jazz aren't as good and they weren't as good in the bubble as they were in the regular season. The Nuggets are going to come in, and I think they're going to stomp them out in 4 because with Michael freaking Porter is balling his ass off. Michael Porter is balling his fucking ass off. And then Rockets, Thunder. This is going to be something else, bro. This whole thing. But everything's dependent on what happens between the Blazers and the Grizzlies. If the Blazers and the Grizzlies, if the Blazers win, which I'm pretty sure that they will. I'm pretty sure that they'll beat the Grizzlies this weekend. But if the Blazers win, Lakers and Blazers are going to go to 7. If Blazers go to 7, the Rockets and Thunder are going to pick them dudes apart, whoever the winner out of that one. But you love to see Rockets Lakers in the second round, but don't tell Dame Dollar that. He's going to come around and upset some folks. He's going to come in and break some hearts. You love to see it. And it's just amazing. So my winners, I'm going to talk about my winners. Luka Doncic has proven that he belongs in the NBA with his bubble performances. Very consistent, been doing his thing. I know we talked about Luka in the earlier in the podcast, but Luka is a surefire. To me, he's the next. He's the next. A lot of people, somewhere between Magic and Larry. That's how good it is. He doesn't have the 3-pointer skills like Larry, but he can work on that. He has European ball skills. Really, really good. Luka belongs. James Harden, easy winner. Dame Dollar, easy winner. My losers. I'm going to be straightforward with this one. The Spurs, for the first time in 22 years, will not be in the playoffs. This is what happens when you start the race late. This is what happens. And the best part about it is part of it's not even their fault because they played less games because they're in the middle of the freaking country. So when this all happened, they were already 2 games back. And the Spurs played some decent basketball, but it wasn't enough. And that is what it is. We all didn't predict COVID. But this is why you play good basketball, you win games, and you don't have to worry about things like this happening. Because if you ask me personally, I don't think the Jazz are good enough to be in it. I'd easily replace the Jazz with the Suns and the Spurs. Very easily. And I wouldn't feel bad about it at all. Not at all. The reality of the situation is that they should you play these games. And you only get one opportunity to win these games in every game. You gotta win. It's sad because I love Pop. But I said it earlier last year, at the end of last year, going into this year, I said that the Spurs, with as good as everybody's being, the Spurs are going to be the odd man out. And I was right. Surefire loser, the Pelicans. The New Orleans Pelicans, they wanted Zion Williamson in the playoffs. They didn't want Dame Dollar in the playoffs. They wanted Zion Williamson. The NBA wanted Zion. The coach Alvin Gentry didn't want Zion. Zion lost weight, still didn't get his shit up, still couldn't play ball, and then we are where we are. So the New Orleans Pelicans got their swift exit out of the playoffs. The Kings came in playing average ball, and by playing average ball, they got average play. And by getting average play, they didn't find a star except De'Aaron Fox. I remember when people were talking about Buddy Hield was going to be the next Steph Curry, and I laughed. I'm like, really? Next Steph Curry? No, sorry. And I was right. He's nowhere near fucking Steph Curry. Who the fuck decided to make that proclamation? Definitely a loser in that one. Wizards, biggest losers of all. Once they figured that Brad Beal wasn't going to be in, they shouldn't even have just decided to participate. And that is something else, man. Kemba Walker showed out in this restart. The Celtics as a whole showed out. Their front four, I can't speak about their center because they play either Cantor or the other dude, and it's like Cantor or Theis. Theis is good. Don't get me wrong. But the Celtics' main four is Walker, Hayward, Brown, Tatum. That is one of the most dangerous front fours, like the most dangerous fours in the history of basketball right now. It's very underrated, and that squad is gonna. I don't know. That is gonna be something else. See, I'm speechless, but I'm so excited that we got this opportunity to get this going, and I'm thoroughly impressed by what the NBA did. My hat goes out to them, and there's still more. That's the best part. There's still more to come. There's still more action. So, if anything we've learned is that one thing's for sure is that nothing's for sure. The Phoenix Suns went undefeated and still not going to make the playoffs, which is probably the saddest thing that basketball will ever have to deal with. But we know how good the Suns are now, so it's going to be expected come next season. All right, so happenings next week. We got the NFL preview shows popping off. We're gonna record the whole set probably this weekend, drop them off week by week until the season starts. So you can look forward to that. Past that now, because we're still going to be doing the weekly shows. Past that, as you can tell, I've been testing my camera setups, trying to make different things happen, and it's working. Shout out to myself. Pat on my own self back. Thank you very much. But make no mistake, this is going to be coming up on season 4 of the show. Season 4 is probably going to be the biggest show in the history of our show. We're doing things the right way this time. We got setups, we got cameras, we got all that. Hopefully, the plan is to have a whole roundtable coming up real soon. A nice little roundtable show. We're going to have to be socially distant when we do the show, of course. We're going to have to. But we're going to bring a few friends on, bring in like a roundtable and make some things happen. I'm hoping that it works. It's my plan. I'm striving to bring you guys the best possible show that we can, given the budget. I am not rich. Nobody pays me to do this show except the advertisers for the podcast. But we're going to grind, and we're going to hustle, and we're going to dig deep. So, again, we're going to be doing something a little different come beginning of September. You're going to see some new faces on here. So who knows how that goes. But I will definitely always be here to rock with you. There will be all the way Wednesdays when we talk about all the sports. So we're not sleeping on anything. Football's going to be back. I'm excited. I'm excited for y'all, really. I'm really excited for y'all because y'all going to enjoy this. I set out when I started to do this show, I just wanted to be the Sports Center alternative. I wanted to be non-Sports Center. I wanted to be the show that we were like, I don't want to watch Stephen A. Smith. I don't want to watch Shannon Sharp, even though they're entertaining. Let's see Hollywood J. Black provide some input. Let's see a different side of things. And that's what we did. And that's what we're going to continue to do. But we're going to add some stack. So, anyways, hopefully it's 11 o'clock right now. I'm about to hop off this thing. I want to tell y'all thank you very much for watching the Ovatyme Sports Show today. We will be back Monday with more playoff predictions. NHL playoffs are kicked off, and we got to get right to it. So, until then, this is your boy Hollywood J. Black signing off. We are out this bitch. Deuces.